Well, kia ora everyone, welcome to our garden. I guess being in lockdown in 2020 has really made me think a lot about gardening and perhaps doing not as much as I should have been doing. But there's a few of you have been asking questions about my avocado trees, and here they are here. Bought 4 earlier on from Avocado in New Zealand here, and we are down, well, we're Dunedin, Otago, New Zealand, so we're down quite low in the latitude, and possibly the frost could affect these trees, so that's why I've kind of cocooned them a bit in their frost cloth for the season. But these were planted back in October, I guess, and at that time I put the shade cloth around them, so that they, no wind damage could happen. And in that short time we have seen a bit of new shoots and growth. As you can see on that far one over there, there's quite a bit of new growth. I do notice there's a little bit of something happening on the ends of that leaf, so I'll have to come back and have a good look to have a check out for insects here, to make sure that there's nothing on the underside of those leaves. It could just be a bit of damage, I suspect, after I put the wind cloth around. But look, initially I was really concerned about putting the frost cloth over, because the only frost cloth I could get was fairly lightweight. It was a can't remember the measurement systems, but the only one available locally here, just the day before lockdown. Actually, I'm glad I got it, because then after that, in late March, they during what New Zealand has is level 4, they weren't even sending mail orders initially of these types of products. So yeah, I got some of this, but because it was so lightweight, I did a double layer. And I guess I wouldn't always necessarily do that, like on a citrus tree or anything like that, but on these particular frost prone trees I decided that it makes it more of a commercial weight. Whether I was right or not, don't really know, time will tell. My concern was that there wouldn't be enough water and moisture getting through, so I did a bit of a weed out down around the roots recently. You can see the mounded up earth around them, and that was certainly helpful. They don't like the root competition at all. And in fact, when you're planting avocado trees, the recommendation very much is to very carefully cut out the base of the polythene bag, sit it in position, and then carefully trim down the side of the polythene and remove it while it's in position. There is warning obviously about putting the stakes in so that they damage the root ball, and make sure you've got it far enough out. These were stakes that actually came with them, so I actually left them in. They were sitting right next to the root ball, and then when they were in position I just pushed them a little firmer into the ground. Now, I mean, I've been planting trees for a long time. We've got quite a reasonable size orchard here, and it's the first time I've ever planted avocado trees, obviously, hence the excitement. But the thing that really surprised me was the fact that the advice that from all the reading that I did was, with them being a South American, I think, well, the tropics anyway, base, they don't like to be deep in our rich soils, or even heavy clay would be even worse. So in fact, they like to be set on top of tilled earth. And I don't know if you can see down there, but actually the shade cloth itself is almost providing a little bit of a retainer to the mounding up that we did. Now we did plant them with the third principle. A third of the local topsoil earth, a third of gravel or river gravel, just to make it a bit more free draining, and a third of some fully composted compost. And some people ask me, can I use almost compost, the manures and things that you've had composting around the place and that you can throw in on these roots. But I would always urge you not to do that. Make sure that it's fully composted. Otherwise, the chemical reactions that continue in the breakdown can burn and damage the roots. So you're better off just to get yourself, with the investment of the trees, I mean, reasonable investment for me. I got this small pack of 4 trees. I'll have to post the varieties in the comments because I don't know if I can remember them. One's a reed, one is oh, my brain's going to go now. Yeah, so different varieties. There is a Hass here, and there are 2 others perhaps that are less prolific with fruit, but the system that I've been advised in the terms of planting is planting close, letting them bush, and they do have a bit of space here. I'll talk a bit more about the tamarillos in another link. Have a look out for that. But they're planted just right there on a raised garden bed, so they will have space to bush out. But the close proximity, half metre, metre and a half even, is really great for being able to yeah, just the pollination. It's far more effective. So in our climate down here in Dunedin, it's less, I think, about the frost, and I actually wonder if it's more actually about the fact that during the summer, when the female and the male flowers are opening on each of these plants, the pollination, well, the regular opening and closing of those flowers only happens if the temperature remains above about 12 degrees. And due to the fact that that's sadly not always the case even through our summer, we can get some dips. You know, the pollination can be at risk in those temperatures. So yeah, I'm in a wait and see mode. I've been given confidence by the people that I bought the trees off that in fact looked after properly, obviously with feeding, sheltering, avocado trees can succeed in these climates. So watch out for a part 2 on my avocado trees. I mean, really, I guess the appeal for me is the health of the fruit, the price that the fruit often is in these areas is huge. So I guess, you know, it is a financial decision as well, and to be able to enjoy the fruit of these special trees will be pretty nice. So I'll keep you posted. Post comments below if you have any questions. Don't claim to be the authority on it at all, but happy to help out with anything, any experiences that I'm having. So this is from my backyard to yours. Bye.